The problem was never that they were a nuclear threat, it was always their missile program, it was always their geographic location on the Strait of Hormuz. This is the real nuclear option. Shutting down oil coming through this strait disrupts the entire global market. It would increase your gas dollar short term by a couple of bucks, long term like a month or more. This would increase your gas prices by like $5 a gallon. And they, like many other countries, are incentivized to do something like that because we have collapsed their dollar to zero. We have choked them. We have sanctioned them. We have starved them. And this is the only way that they have to stay relevant, to have a place at the bargaining table. But this is a nuclear option, right? Because if you were to shut down the Strait of Hormuz and affect all global trade, you're guaranteed that you're about to be wiped out, or very strongly targeted. You don't actually use the nuclear options, you use them as a deterrent. So they don't shut down the strait. They want you to have the fear that they could shut down the strait. How they do that is with their missiles program, which exceeds ours. It exceeds our ability to keep up. It exceeds our ability to take them down. Or rather, Israel's ability to take them down, our allies' ability to take them down. Because the thing is, Israel is using United States weapons. There's like this money laundering program that we could talk about that gets your tax dollars into the hands of Boeing and Palantir and all of these war profiteers by means of these foreign wars. In exchange, Israel gives us intel on threats in the area. They have a geographic location that allows trade up through the Strait of Hormuz and into the Mediterranean if that route was to be reignited, so to speak. And then they also do the weapons testing before the weapons need to be used to protect the United States home ground. Therefore, their enemies in the Middle East are the guinea pigs of the West, essentially, of the weapon testing of the West. Israel is involved, absolutely. They are the mad scientist that is doing the testing, so to speak. And then the testing, of course, is our weapons. So it's not just Israel. It is very much an allyship. It is a team effort from the partners of the West. That being said, America has funded both the money, the tech, the intel. It's a partnership program to create the defense systems that Israel uses to prevent the missile attacks. We then are championing the same technology back at home to create a golden dome and sort of mirror that program. So while Israel's defense system can defend against individual missile attacks, it's very expensive to do so, and it's not 100%. America has recently learned how to defend against these particular missiles that we cannot keep up with at so far 100% rate from one event, but previously it was much lower, around 50% rate, because our systems are a lock-on system. So what Iran has done is they've created a missile that instead of just going up and then coming back down in a planned and predictable trajectory, it goes up, it can then be navigated and twisted and turned, and then it can come down in unpredictable patterns that the Western technology is unable to keep up with. Literally, this thing goes Mach 12 to Mach 15. America acknowledges that it goes Mach 12 and that America cannot go Mach 12 when we're trying to take them down. The new technology we've developed that is 100% for a very short testing period, it is reliant on it being targeted in its final moments of descent. So it's like almost about to hit, and then we're able to step in and save the day at the very final moment. It is not ideal in the least bit, and it is very expensive. We have to send two. Every time that they send one, we have to send two back. What takes them one projectile being sent to us takes us two to send back up to disable it, essentially, in its final moments of descent. Also, our interceptors, they go like Mach 3.5. And again, Mach 12 confirmed, Mach 15 claimed. They're also continuously upgrading this. So they had the Fatah, then the Fatah 2. There's rumor of a Fatah 3. They just keep improving it over and over and over again and testing it. The 2.0 upgrades, this thing carries a 200 kilogram payload, and it can go 1,500 kilometers. So well within striking distance of Israel and many of our allies. And in our development and learning how to take these down, we launched 80 interceptors into the Red Sea, and those were $4.3 million every time. We launched 80. A ship can carry 90, by the way. And then the other one that exceeds our technology, I will mispronounce the heck out of this city, this missile, which is named after a city, Khurram Shahar. These are the Kybers. The Kyber Shakan is what most people are going to refer to this as. Very similar, can be navigated both in and out of the atmosphere. This one goes 2,000 kilometers that we're aware of, and again, continuously upgrading. They recently tested another one of these as well. This one also would be capable of carrying warheads if they had the ability to make warheads, which they don't. More realistically, though, it can reach a much longer range with a much higher payload, explosive payload, and also it can defend against cyber attacks. There are very recent reports of a 5th generation of this. Again, faster than we can go, faster than we can realistically and consistently take down. And then they have some other notable ones that are maybe less competitive but still very important that they have. And I'll probably mispronounce these, but we've got the Sigil, which has a 2,000 kilometer range that can be launched from bunkers. So that is interesting. The Ahmad goes 1,800 kilometers. It is highly accurate. Hajj Qasim is also highly accurate, even more so than the Ahmad. And then they have cruise missiles as well that can completely fly under the radar. So that diversity, the fact that it's not just these specifically competitive ones, that it is a large amount of other missiles as well, works in their favor. Because let's go back to that dome system that we were talking about that America is championing the tech of, that America invested in the defense funding for Israel for, right? That dome can defend against these sorts of weapons. Not 100% consistent, but fairly consistent. However, it is very expensive to do so. So Iran's strategy then, and this is not me giving strategy, this is me explaining strategy that they have shown that they use. Iran's tactics is to fully saturate and make it to where they cannot defend against every attack. So their goal is not to land every single missile. Their goal is to deplete the defense mechanisms of the countries who are attacking them. Every time they send $1 million worth of missiles, we send back $1 billion worth of defense. Our ships have 90 interceptors. It took 80 to stop the Red Sea attacks. Their plan is quite literally just send as many of the little missiles as we can to high value enough targets that they're going to have to respond, that they're going to have to send an interceptor for. And then once the interceptors are depleted, you break out the big boys. So their hypersonic missile program, amazing. And far superior to our missile program, to our hypersonic program. But also, don't sleep on their drone program. Don't sleep on their regular missile program, because those things are how they are likely to deplete the resources of anybody who is trying to attack them. And that is what this is. This is not defense on the stance of the West. This is an attack. This was an attack. And Iran's response to this was strategy. So we can sit here and talk about how many missiles they send and call that terror all day long. It's not. It is strategy as they defend their homeland, which is under attack. Amidst an admitted U.S. coup attempting to replace their government, who the people rose up and chose after the United States put in a previous coup during the Cold War. This man was fighting to keep his people relevant. He was fighting for his people to stay relevant during a time specifically that they are likely to be displaced in the very near future due to the continued consumption patterns of the global leaders. The global leaders' elites, the global leaders' citizens as well. And the only reason that he would need a nuclear program to do that would be if he wasn't able to partner with Russia nor the West when it comes to a path to migration, as this trade route essentially displaces or largely replaces his. His missile program was his nuclear threat. What they could do back to your dollar, what you already did to theirs, was their nuclear threat. And really, it's not what Iran can do to your dollar. We did this to our dollar. Our geopolitical tactics have done this to our dollar. By choking out other economies like Iran, like Russia, like Cuba, like Venezuela, at a time when their partners, their allies, Russia, is going to be gaining all of this power through the Arctic trade route. So as we start talking about Iran again, resist the temptation to say it's just about real, it's just about the J's, it's just a new world order, it's just this, it's just that. Speak strategically, speak logically, speak in fact, speak in maps. This is systemic. This man saw the system, this man fought the system. Because the system was willing to use the Pahlavi family. This new Pahlavi Jr. as well, who is going to be the next leader that we put in, guaranteed. Khamenei wanted to prevent his people and his land from becoming completely irrelevant, as the Pahlavis will be on board with doing as climate change persists, as people become displaced, as the land becomes strategically less relevant. as they look for a path to migration. We just committed genocide. It's an ongoing genocide. Follow me for more.